Good afternoon. Welcome to Beverly High School down at the pit as we set up another game for the Beverly Panthers softball team. Panthers are going to be taking on Marblehead today, the headers of Marblehead. Magicians, right? All kinds of names. I'm Rich Francis, along with Al Visnick. We'll be bringing all the action to you. Al, so it's been a little bit of time since we've covered one of the Beverly games, and they've been still pretty successful on their run.
Yeah, the Panthers are still chugging along. Coming into today's game, still undefeated in the Northeast Conference at 11-2, with a very worthy adversary coming in here at 12-2, the Marblehead Magicians, as you said earlier. Beverly playing in D1. The latest power rankings have the Panthers at number 12 and in a great position to have a preliminary round bye in a first-round playoff game. And Marblehead right now in the power rankings in Division II sits at number 9. So I'm looking forward to this one. A couple of teams that have seen mostly the left-hand column.
Yeah, and, you know, again, in conference, again, this is a big one. Beverly coming in 10-0 in the conference. Marblehead, I believe, at 8-1. Their only loss was to Peabody, which pretty much everybody's loss is to Peabody, except for the Panthers. They beat Peabody, the common foe, last time we were around here.
Well, actually, the day before we made our inaugural broadcast earlier in the week, yeah, Beverly came up with that huge 4-3 win. So let's see what happens today. On paper, a couple of evenly matched squads.
Yeah, so the Panthers going to have out on the mound today Lydia Medema. She's been one of their top pitchers. She and Gabby Wickery, both top 5 in the conference in ERA.
Yeah, Lydia comes in with a 2.44 ERA with 37 1/3 innings pitched and 32 Ks on the season.
Lydia is going to be facing Luca Bornhorst for the Sachems.
Magicians.
I'm sorry. Sachems was the last game.
That was August. You're rewinding the clock.
Yeah, we had such a good time.
Still reliving the glory of the inaugural broadcast.
Sachems, not Sachems. Magicians.
Also, the nickname of Winchester High School.
Yeah, it's the red and white uniforms. Maybe that's what it is. Ground ball. Medema fields her position pretty well, and that's the out over to Gabby Wickery.
Nice job by the freshman. That ball was a one-hopper right at her feet, but didn't have any problems getting down low and scooping that out.
You know, Elsa also plays volleyball. I saw Coach Ashley Crew, formerly Chalifor. Well, she's down here at the game with her daughter Scotty, checking out a lot of her volleyball players there. Line drive. And there's one of her volleyball players right there, Elsa Roulette.
And that batter was Haley Schmidt. Rich, you might recognize that last name. The Schmidt boys, baseball players at Marblehead High School.
Skylar.
Yeah. And Riley? Is that a brother who's there now? Skylar played with Ian, I think, and I think there's another brother playing right now.
Okay. So we got Isabel Mortensen. That was up now. That ball's in the dirt. Stopped by the catcher, Kat Simonis. Back there. It's about 58 degrees, not a cloud in the sky over the pit here, but it's a bit breezy. Making it a little bit chilly.
Especially in the Beverly dugout, which is fully engulfed in the shade.
Strike. Swinging miss. You know, Al, we really can't complain too much about the weather, though, as it hasn't been a great weather season this year. This is one of the nicer days that we've got.
Well, as we come down the home stretch, it stands to reason that the weather will finally get nice. I think tomorrow afternoon will be what we believe to be is the last home game of the season for the boys baseball team.
Squares the bunt, ball up there. You can't get it. Ball's fair. Nope, man, they're gonna let it go. I thought she grabbed it.
I did too, but she was smarter than we were and let it spin.
I guess so.
Noticed that there was the backspin on there, and Kat Simonis alertly lets it roll foul.
So we got 2-2, 2 outs here in the first.
A little unusual, isn't it, for a number 3 batter to be bunting there, Rich? Or
yeah,
I guess in baseball it would be, but softball.
Yeah.
by hook or by crook, right? Look at a smaller diamond, and a lot of things are in play.
Ground ball at third. Ball over to first, and Wickery at the stretch and the reach.
Athena
That'll end the first
McKenna.
half of the inning.
Nicely done by another freshman, Athena McKenna.
Yep.
Beverly features several freshmen in the lineup.
Athena's in that volleyball program we talked about. All right, so the Panthers are going to be bringing up Sophia Balducci, another volleyball player.
Another freshman.
Athena McKenna.
Another freshman.
Gabby Wickery, junior, volleyball player. Jasmine Feliciano.
Junior.
Meredith Johnston. Elsa
Sophomore.
Roulette, another volleyball player there. Riley Michael. Lydia Medema, she's a volleyball player.
And a freshman.
Reese Quietek, she's a volleyball player. And Kat Simonis.
Sophomore. And Kat is a sophomore. So Beverly, as we said earlier, or in our first broadcast, a very young team. Has good senior leadership that are mostly role players. Seniors on the team this year, Carly Jones, who, as we talked about, is coming off an ACL injury. I noticed she's on the substitute list. I don't know if she's come back yet, but hopefully we're hoping for her sake in her senior year that she finds some joy on the athletic field.
Yeah, I got to say, and the other thing about Carly is if they can get her back come tournament time, you know, she's pretty quick. I don't know with the knee injury how much that's messing up her speed, but at the very least, maybe as a base runner when they get out there. So.
And senior Jane Foley and Lila Pascarello round out the senior class, and the rest is made up of the 3 freshmen, 5 sophomores, 4 juniors. So the cupboard will not be bare heading into next season. That's for sure.
All right, so out on the mound from Marblehead, we got Tessa Francis. I like that name, Al, don't we?
I was going to ask you, is there any relation there?
Not that I know of. My
popular
the
name.
Francis side of my family is pretty scattered. My maternal relatives are all pretty much located in one place, but.
Rich, you might be interested to know as Sophia Balducci, the freshman left fielder, steps to the plate. She's been credited with 25 quabs so far this year.
Oh. I'm not going to get a quab with that one. Get Francis bringing the heat.
Yeah, we
Pretty
were
hard
watching her
throwing
take her warm-up tosses, and she had some juice for sure. So with Lydia going and her velocity.
Well, in there for a strike 2.
Could be a low-scoring affair.
0-2, yeah. Looking at Francis out there, the way she throws, you got to imagine she doesn't give up a lot of runs.
Well, there's a reason that they're 12-2.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter
outside.
what division you play in. You still got to win your games. So.
Yeah, right.
And the Northeast Conference is the Northeast Conference no matter what division you're in. So.
Right. It's an interesting conference. I think they've got 4 to 5 divisions covered outside. 4 to 5 divisions covered, you know. I mean, you got a couple D1, Beverly, Peabody. I think Masco might be Division 1. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Probably,
they used to be
D2.
2, but
yeah.
it could be 1 now. I'm not sure.
That's a strike. Low strike. I think it was the fact that she was thinking about swinging, showed a little. It's a backwards K. And then you have teams like Winthrop, who are pretty low division.
Yeah, maybe
not
a 4
big,
or something.
Yeah, not a big enrollment. That's a strike. Not a big enrollment, as well as I think they do take success in there as well.
Oh, they do.
I think.
I often wondered.
I think
I
if
had
you
heard
show
it
a
was
pattern of wins, teams can move up or down depending on if they're, close.
Oh, okay.
So some teams will opt not to move. Beverly, on the other hand, opted to move up in some of these sports. So much to the consternation of some people.
Ooh, that's a hit.
Where'd that get her?
Oh, I guess it hit her
knob
bat.
of the bat. So that's going to be a strike. Unfortunate strike right there. That's where you got to act a little and grab your wrist, don't you? All right, so why would Marblehead's coach be coming out?
Because he's a sportsman,
I
Rich.
guess maybe see if she's okay. Okay. All right, so 2 strikes on the batter. A change-up.
Change-up. Gets her swinging.
Gabby Wickery, one of the top hitters on the team, as you could tell by her being in that 3 spot.
Yeah, she's coming in. Team stats have her at 444. Although the Salem News had her a little bit lower than that. I'm going to go with Coach Sudak's calculations.
You don't trust Matt Williams? Is that what you're saying?
Well, sometimes the typesetters make an error. They're never Matt's. Au contraire.
I don't know. I think Phil Stacy might be involved a little bit this year, too. Strike 2.
Tied 10th with 14 RBIs.
Panthers have 5 batters in the top 20, I believe it is, batting average. Struck her out a high heat.
Ooh, strikes out the side. Wow. Beverly going to need to make some adjustments on those fastballs.
Yeah, I think so.
Quick inning there.
Expect to see them play a little bit of small ball, too, if they can get some base runners.
Yeah, Beverly actually, I believe Rich has 4 batters, 400 or better. 1 at 390.
5 hitters in the top 15, according to the Salem News. Meredith Johnson's the highest of them all at 452. Riley Michael, she's at number 10 at 440. Wickery's at 422. Athena McKenna and even 400. And Jasmine Feliciano at 390. They're all in the top 15.
Yeah.
And
20th, actually, I think. Jasmine, no?
I don't know. I thought it was 15.
Yeah. But she definitely made the list there for sure. Yeah. And Jasmine also tied 10th with her teammate Gabby Wickery with 14 ribbies.
And not to mention, don't forget to mention the 4 home runs she's got.
Wow, yeah, tied for the league lead with Abby Betancourt.
Yes, I believe so. One of them Betancourts.
One of the Betancourts.
If you're trying to think of a league leader, just say Betancourt, and you really kind of have it covered. You know, we had talked about the 2 Beverly pitchers, their ERAs of about 2.44. We were talking earlier how that's almost 2 runs more than Abby Betancourt. So.
And she has a ridiculous 85, I think, strikeouts or something like that.
So we got Ruby Kalyenis here.
The second baseman.
Kalyenis. Medema to deliver. Ground ball to third, can't get it. Feliciano wings it over.
Nice throw.
6-3.
Nice job there by Athena McKenna, trying her best to cut that off, but Jasmine Feliciano playing in was able to field that cleanly, and that throw got there in plenty of time.
Now we got the pitcher.
Nope. No, the left fielder, I think, doesn't it? Sophia Hillsley? Is that wrong? Did I?
Oh no!
Did I mess up the
book?
book?
No, I messed up in my book.
Okay.
And it's foul. Okay, so it's not a baseball game if I'm not messing up a book. Sophia Halsey, it looks like. Okay, so I gotta hope Sophia hits a ground ball to shortstop. Okay, instead she's gonna hit a fly ball to center. Camped right under it. That's an F8 by Meredith Johnson. You know, Al, I should be able to turn that 6-3 into an F8 fairly well.
And then your namesake, Tessa Francis, the pitcher. Oh, no. Is that her? I guess maybe it is.
No.
Throws right, bats left, number 14.
See the number?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Yep. She looks different from this side.
Yeah, it does.
That ball's outside.
The helmet.
Yeah.
Lefty batter.
Yeah. Try to get the good side. Dima trying to get her grip on that. Looks like she was having trouble getting her grip on the ball.
Looking at the stance of Tessa there, she has that forward lean over the plate. Reminded me a little, no more, a little bit of Pete Rose.
Okay, I got you.
No,
Yeah,
let's see when she settles in there. What you think?
Oh
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, definitely see it. And you're gonna drop that one down, foul into the shaded area over in left field.
Was pulling a offensive page out of Dom Lorenzano's book to see what I could come up with the stance there. Yes. Dom, the king of the pitching lookalikes.
Yeah, I was always more of a batting stance kind of guy. Dom seems to be the change up in there. Ooh, really pulled the string on that one. Yeah, Dom's the wind up guy.
Delivery man. Well,
yeah,
that's because
not so much with softball.
He was a pitcher, though.
Was he?
I think he pitched for a little bit at Curry College, didn't he?
Okay, I didn't know that. That ball's in the. Oh, we called it a strike. Ooh, tough call.
Generous call. Home field advantage.
I guess so. So that'll sit him down in a row for the second inning in a row.
Well, as we were talking, Rich, before we actually got on air, how BevCam is always on time.
Right.
However, the Marblehead team was a little late getting from here to there. We're making up some time in a rapid fashion.
I know, yeah. So if you are joining us and you just joined us expecting this game to be pretty further in, it's only the bottom of the second as the Marblehead bus got here a little bit late. As is probably the occasion almost every time if they're trying to get here driving through Salem anyway. I don't know if they're driving through Salem or some other route, but traffic from Marblehead to Beverly is not very easy.
Never is.
Now, that said, pretty much traffic anywhere right now around the city of Beverly. I think the only easy drive now is Gloucester to Beverly or Beverly to Gloucester.
That is an easy drive. I was up there yesterday.
Yeah, because if you're trying to go south on Route 128 from Beverly, it's just stopped until you get past the Centennial Park exit. It seems.
Right, yeah.
You know, pretty much any time of day. I don't know.
Yeah, especially in the late afternoon.
Yeah. And then, trying to drive through Salem, it's not just October anymore. That is difficult.
Yeah, I was up to New Balance Stadium. Is that Newell Stadium?
Yeah, New Balance Field at Newell Stadium is the official. You could thank Jim Davis, the owner of New Balance, for that one.
Was up there watching my youngest embark in the early stages of his coaching career, coaching a game up there yesterday. All
right, so we got Jasmine Feliciano to lead off here.
Jasmine made that nice play on the ground ball last half inning.
High.
Jasmine is tied for the North Shore lead with home runs, as you said earlier, with 4.
Umpires having a little discussion here. Don't know what they're talking about yet.
But I will tell you, Rich, that in terms of the sabermetric quab, Jasmine does lead the team with 30 quabs.
Okay.
30 quabs in 13 games is
pretty impressive, yeah. Al, do we want to explain what a quab is to those
A quab
viewing?
Is more than 7 pitches in at bat.
7? I thought it was 6. Anyway.
6 or 7.
Okay.
I thought it was 7, but
okay,
we
got something else.
It could be
going
7
on
or more.
What do we have?
So this is.
Okay, we're gonna have another discussion. I have to believe it's got to be the pitcher. Something with the pitcher, maybe.
About maybe not being on the rubber, perhaps. When
seeing the way she just positioned herself kind of makes you think that might be it.
They were pointing at the ground.
Okay.
She does have a chart on her left wrist, but since that's her glove hand, I can't believe that would be an issue unless there's some reflection. So there's something about the delivery that the base. So there's something about the delivery that the base umpire is picking up that he's not liking.
Stop, maybe.
I wouldn't think so, but.
We'll have to get one of
the base umpire seems to be the one who's picking up whatever it is, so I assume it's with the feet.
Yeah. Okay. So the pronounced step forward there tells us it's got something to do with being on the rubber.
And maybe how far in front of the rubber she is
Yeah.
when she actually releases the ball.
That's a strike. I think, yeah, so I think it's about having contact with the rubber, probably. It doesn't seem to be affecting her ability to pitch, though. Lisiano fouls that one off.
So back to the quab. We'll have to do some
Yeah,
research.
yeah,
Maybe it's
yeah.
7 or more pitches.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think that's
Right,
what I do think that's what it is.
yeah, as
7
well
or
as
more, yeah.
sacrifice, moving a runner along, getting a hit, RBI.
Walk. Right, getting on base.
Getting
somehow,
on
right?
base, right?
That
Getting on
ball's
base.
upstairs. Getting on base. And speaking of
so-
getting
and
on
there-
base,
there's a quab, her
yeah,
31st.
she got herself another quab.
Thank you, Jasmine. And we have the first base runner of the afternoon.
So there goes that perfect game. So now we can talk about it. Meredith Johnston now up.
With a .452 batting average, as you said, tied for 8th, or is in 8th place on the North Shore, or in the Salem Evening News
That
coverage.
ball's upstairs. Al, you may have to help me out a little bit as the umpire and the second baseman are conspiring to block my view of home
Okay,
plate.
I'm going to use my ability to scoot
Uh,
right.
All right, extra slack on the headphones.
That's right.
There you go. All right, now I've got a view. As long as the second baseman doesn't move. Swing and a miss. 1-1's the count. Strike 2.
Another low one.
Yeah. Kind of likes that low strike. We saw a previous strikeout
That
against
was,
Beverly on that, too.
Yep. and then the one against
That
Marblehead.
low and outside, he seems to like it.
Nice
Ground
ground
ball.
to the
That
right
ball
side.
is going to be over to first. Flip. And you got the out at
Casually
first.
flipped with the
Yeah,
glove.
with the glove. Little Robbie Alomar right there. Move the runner over.
So that's a quab in my book.
Move the runner over, yes.
Hit the ball the right side.
Okay, so now we got Elsa Roulette. Roulette. Still can't figure that one out. If she was a hockey player, it would be Relay.
Yes. But I'm afraid that our hockey season is
Yeah.
nearing a close.
Yeah, it wasn't looking so good. Hey, maybe they can flip the script and
Maybe.
come back from 3-1.
Let's see.
Ground ball foul. Nope. not a ground ball, just a
Elsa Jr. is tied for 4th with 2 home runs and sports an impressive 26 quabs coming into today's game.
So Al, I know it's early in the game, but if you get a base hit to the outfield here, do you send the runner, knowing that run's going to be at a premium?
I probably would not with 1 out, maybe with 2.
Or at least try to draw
Yeah.
a throw.
Yeah,
Draw a
for
throw,
sure.
get the
Maybe you
runner
got it.
over to
Yeah.
second.
Nice cut.
Yep.
And she gets it by her. Got 1 ball, 2 strikes. That was a healthy hack.
Yeah, it was.
Catch up to one of those fastballs.
Just got under that one a little bit. Let's see if France is going to come with the heat or a change up here. Little change. Oh, it looked like she took a little something off of that. So that gives us 2 outs. We got Riley Michael coming up, the DP.
Riley tied for 10th in hitting with a .440 average. And this would be, I'd definitely be forcing it here unless it's a line shot, right, 1 hopper.
Yeah. Strike. France is really keeping him off balance at the plate.
Yeah, and this is shaping up just as we thought. We thought it would be a good contest on paper, but as the girls are getting going here, we got some
Strike 2, high strike.
talented pitches here on the bump today.
Yeah, absolutely. And we don't have a grade on Francis, though, do we?
No, we just had names. Oh,
Ooh,
she
high
climbs the ladder.
cheese.
Gets it a chase.
Yep. So at the end of 2, we got no score.
You know, Rich, as I was looking over the scores and Marblehead's record, I believe they lost to Peabody just 1-0.
Okay.
I think. So that was probably quite a pitcher's duel.
Yeah.
Between Francis and Betancourt is my guess. So Marblehead will send up their 7th, 8th, and 9th batter. Third baseman Tessa Adviano. First baseman Lila McGovern, and the center fielder Ashley Mortensen. As we are cooking along here at the pit. Beautiful day. Nice crowd on hand here. A little bit breezy, as you said. Wind blowing from right to left. As Lydia takes her warm-up tosses. You know, Rich, when we're on the other side of the complex covering baseball, we get to see what's going on the turf field. And as we were discussing last we were on air, that it was coming up for public discussion and a vote on whether lights would be installed.
Yeah.
At
yeah.
Brother Roberts, do I have that right? Brother Roberts.
Brother
no,
Robert?
no.
No,
Frank
Forty
Field.
Field.
Brother Roberts being the
Brother
baseball.
Roberts still going to be in the dark there for
and
a bit.
it did unanimously pass. So some of those fall sports that get compromised by the lack of lighting will hopefully, if things go according to schedule, will not have that problem.
Strike. Well, you know, Al, it's interesting because the early season of the spring, right, is like the end of the season for the fall, right, with the way the sun goes down. And that's going to be in there for a strike. And baseball really seems to be the one sport that gets affected most by the darkness because there's no time limit, right? You know, baseball could just kind of go on forever if you have the lights for it.
That is true. No clock in baseball.
No clock in baseball. That's a strike. 3.
Umpire very consistent with his low.
Again, it almost seems like on those low pitches, if you look like you wanted to swing, he's calling it a strike.
Maybe he was a pitcher. Seems to be a pitcher's umpire.
That could be. Lila McGovern now, first base. Fly ball down the left field line. That's going to be out of play.
Fans get a little action over there. And the other advantage to being on this side, Rich, is we get to see what's going on in the tennis courts.
Yeah.
Looks like just the practice today. No matches over there.
We got a JV game going over here to our right. Yeah.
Hopefully our cameraman Josh will be safe and won't be hit by a deep home run.
I got to tell you what, if a JV player hits a home run to where Josh is standing, she should be playing on the varsity.
And we'll get him an ice pack if he goes down.
That's all. BevCam will take care of him. Not only is BevCam always on time, but they take care of their staff. Speaking of BevCam, the downtown camp is just about ready from what I hear.
Very nice.
If you want to do a podcast or have your own little television show, they'll let you do it down there. That's a ball. Al, maybe you and I should have a television show down on BevCam.
We could make it a show about nothing.
Right.
We're good at that.
I think that's what our audience might be. Ground ball, third base, backhand. That's a foul ball. Yeah, I know Dom Lorenzano does his podcast out of the studio here. And as always, there's Brady Frost's Magic of Yoga. They get the camera right in there on him, too. It's kind of disturbing. Change up. Oh, she fights it off. Nice job fighting off that change up.
Great job there by Lila McGovern to adjust her swing, keep her hands back just enough where she could fend that off.
Yeah. You know, I think your wife ought to have a phone-in show on Beverly Cable Access.
I think she's in the house, Rich. Maybe you could start her off with
the ball's upstairs.
Between inning guests here in the booth.
Oh, yeah. You see her over there. Medema getting her handle. Breaking ball, deep
Back,
fly
back,
ball,
back,
and she tracks it right down, makes the play. Nice job tracking that down.
Reese Quietek, the sophomore, hauls that in. That was probably the best hit ball of the day.
Yeah, yep.
Had to drift back a couple of steps, but does a nice job with that.
Reese unaffected by the sun. She's got the visor and the sunglasses. Ashley Mortensen, the second Mortensen that we've seen come up to the plate today. Line drive. Oh,
one hopper.
Roulette with the play to end the inning, and the base runner takes a dive. Hustle. That's what we call that, Al. Hustle.
Hard 90, but in softball it's not 90.
Right.
It's a
We
hard,
still haven't figured out the distance.
65, I don't know.
65, 70, something like that. I don't know.
We're going to have to do some more research, folks. Going to have to forgive Rich and I are
I
getting
know,
our
we're
feet wet
just,
here on the softball
This is
diamond,
only our
so.
second time doing a softball game. Next year we'll be well-versed in the game because the high school, the women's high school game is a little bit different than the old man version that I've played.
Well, for one, there's no beer drinking.
Well, that too.
It'll be against the rules, MIAA.
And they don't have an extra fielder. The men's league, they have extra fielders.
That is true. 10 players.
Yeah, it's largely, I'd imagine, because, I think a lot of the fields that the men's leagues don't have fences, but also because as we get older, we don't really want to be running around as much.
And, you know, you go through a certain cycle, Rich, during the life cycle. When you're younger and little, participation's encouraged. And as you're old and decrepit, participation is encouraged.
Yeah.
So it gets an extra player involved
Right, yeah.
in the game.
You DH for the pitcher, you get the extra hitter, the extra fielder, you know. So you can have a lot of guys out there.
Or you could play in the...
Oh, look at that. I mentioned Phil Stacy. Phil Stacy's covering the game today.
How do you like that?
As we look over to the scoreboard. Let's see Phil down there. Matt must be covering a baseball game somewhere. You know, but the Salem News, they used to have a lot more sports writers, but with the passing of Gene DePlacido,
yeah, I was going to say
which, if you notice, any of the players wearing helmets on Beverly, they have a little JP on their stuff. For Gene, Gene covered sports on the North Shore for a long, long time. We got to know her from Little League when she covered the Little League tournaments and such.
Yeah, and going back to another side of thing, Rich, her late husband, John, was a teacher in my junior high school. Was my football coach as a ninth grader at Lincoln Junior High School in Malden, and was my brother's sixth grade teacher.
Really?
As well, in the elementary school.
So we got the pitcher, Lydia Medema, trying to help herself out as this game's locked up at 0. And she does it with a base hit.
And that's our first hit of the game, Rich.
So will we see a courtesy runner come in for the pitcher? And we will. So we're going to see a courtesy runner as Medema breaks the no-hitter. And who we got coming in here, Al?
I don't know. She's not going to have our back to us, so we will not know whom it is, but we will as soon as we get a number on there.
Okay, so we got Reese Quietek coming up. Oh, you're losing your papers, Al. Okay, so let's see if Quietek's going to bunt her over or try to knock her over with a base hit. And she squares, doesn't get it, doesn't offer. It's going to be a ball 1. Okay, so now they've seen what the fielders do. And I didn't get a chance to see that number on the running yet. Squares, gets the bunt down, throws over to first, gets it down.
And Lila Pasquarello, the courtesy runner, senior, scampers safely into second base. Great sack bunt there.
Brings us back to the top of the order, Sophia Balducci. All right, Sophia's going to step up. Perfectly executed with that bunt. Francis steps in. Ball in the dirt. Nice stop there. Holds the runner at second. That was Luca Bornhorst, who's the catcher there. She's also the leadoff hitter. Ball one. Little space over there on the right side. Ball two. High. So we just saw Bornhorst go down for that one, then she had to go up for that next one.
She got the count 2-0 in her favor.
Square.
She's raised a bunt.
Pulls back.
Can we steal
That's
there?
going to be a strike.
Ooh.
Yeah, you know, Al, I think it could have. Shortstop really didn't get over there.
Kind of went late.
Yeah.
And she would have had to be in on the move, but
right.
In this kind of game, maybe that's a little too aggressive.
Yeah. 2-1's the count.
As I said, we're getting our feet wet here with the strategy of the game on this size diamond.
Ball three.
3-1.
Athena McKenna on deck. Athena hoping to get a chance to maybe knock somebody in.
Oh, that's
deep drive way back. That ball's out of here.
Let's go.
Oh, she got all of that one. Well, she decided she wasn't going to let Athena get a chance to knock a run in. As Baltucci took that one for a ride. No doubt on that one, Al.
Rich, the ball has left the yard. She turned on that as we speculated earlier with the velocity that Francis throws. Solid contact is going to give us a chance to see some long balls today.
She turned on that one.
And the Panthers turn what had been a no-hitter through 2 innings into a 2-hit, 2-run inning and still up with 1 out.
Okay, so Athena McKenna now up, hoping to restart the inning again. Ground ball, the pitcher, and she got the out. Gabby Wickery up now. Wickery playing first base today. She's also one of the pitchers on this team. Had a chance to call in our home run call, Al.
Wow.
I like that.
Me too.
Oh, that's going to drop in for a hit. Nice job sitting on that changeup. Bats have come alive somewhat this inning.
Yeah, 3 hits here in the inning. And still, okay, so yeah, two outs.
2 outs, yep.
I was going to say one, the ground ball, 1-3.
Yep. Okay, so Jasmine Feliciano up now.
She walked her first at bat, made it as far as second base.
And everything stalled at that. Ball upstairs, ball 1.
Jasmine also with home run power.
She leads the team with 4, leads the conference with 4, right? Tied for 4, tied for the conference.
Or at least the Salem Evening News viewership, which I don't think includes Gloucester. I don't think it includes Masconomet or Swampscott, and I'm not even sure it includes Marblehead. To be honest with you.
Good point.
But I gotta take. I might be wrong. I gotta.
Marblehead gets mentioned in there often.
All right.
I think Marblehead still is in there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Nice job letting the changeup go. Catcher tries to pull it in.
2-1's the count. Yeah, it's always tough when you see the Salem News area, but then once in a while they'll throw a Gloucester in there, and then it's the Salem News / Gloucester Times readership.
Right, exactly.
Feliciano with the foul ball, tough cut right there.
Yeah, good hack.
2-2 on the count, 2 outs. Runner on first. Panthers up 2-0. A lot of 2s this inning.
Bottom of the 3rd.
Fouls it off, keeping it going.
Jasmine trying to build on her team-leading quabs with this at bat.
Yeah,
I think she's up to 6 pitches now. She's fouled it off twice.
Yep.
With 2 strikes.
Tell you, Balducci got a hold of that one. Change up, that's a hit. That's going to
Feliciano
get
in the
into
gap.
the gap, and they can't cut it off.
She's going to send her. They're going to send her.
Wickery going to go. They're going to send her. And she's going to get in there to score.
Jasmine Feliciano with a double to the wall. And the Panthers so far have 3 in the 3rd.
You know, I was just about to say how Balducci got a hold of that ball. Oops. And kind of got up into that jet stream a little as the wind is blowing out towards left. Gave it a little extra push. It was going to go out anyway, but that's in there for a strike.
Meredith Johnson up now, I think, Rich.
Yeah, Meredith grounded out to second base.
Did a nice job hitting the ball to the right side with a runner on and no outs.
And
now
she got herself a base hit. Drop that in. They're going to send her. They're going to send Feliciano with that speed. There was no hesitation for Feliciano rounding third right there.
Coach Sudak playing the role of wave him home. Wendell had no hesitation at all.
All right, so it's been a big inning for the Panthers here as they played 4 so far. 2 outs. We got Elsa Roulette up now. Swing and a miss.
Elsa, another Beverly player with home run capability.
Elsa is the 8th batter of the inning. Ball. 1-1's the count. 2 outs. Runner on first. Panthers got a 4-0 lead. Off some timely hitting. Swing and a miss. Again, as I'm screened a little bit by the umpire.
Would you like me to go down and have a word with him in between innings, Rich?
Yeah, that would be great.
Excuse me,
Blue,
sir.
get out of the way. And I might be screening somebody else, so I have to duck a little bit. And that's going to end the inning with the K. But after 3 innings, Panthers with a 4-0 lead of some big hits, including the big one, 2-run home run by Sophia Balducci. All right, so we got the top of the order coming up for the Magicians. You know, Al, I like Magicians as a nickname. Different. You don't see a lot of teams with that, you know?
Yeah, that is. I mean, the closest I can think of is the Orlando Magic, or for you those on the North Shore, maybe Margie the Magician, who's no longer. Although I did see, Rich, there was going to be
doing a
like
celebration
a
over there.
over there at the Cabot.
You know, Marco the Magi, by the way, real name Cesario Pelez.
Yes.
Was a psychology professor of mine at Salem State. Had him for a couple of classes.
I learned something else today.
He was a mesmerizing individual when he talked.
I bet.
Yeah.
Cuban immigrant?
Cuban immigrant, yes. Refugee, leaving, you know, escaping Castro's Cuba and coming to the United States. I'll tell you a little more story about him if you're a fan of psychology figures, big names in psychology.
I'll take that story as soon as Luca Born leads off the inning. We digress.
High fly ball. That's going to go to center field, and she's going to camp right under that. Meredith Johnston with the play. We score that in F8.
Quickly, 1 out in the 4th. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Yep.
That brings up Haley Schmidt, the shortstop.
Haley grounded out to the pitcher. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Lined out to the second baseman. Ground ball, third base. Speed. They got her, though. Good speed there by Schmidt. much like her brother, who had pretty good speed.
That ball was not hit hard, and she
No.
sure got out of the box quickly. So that's just 2 pitches, right, Rich?
Yeah.
2 pitches, 2 outs.
That was Athena McKenna making the play over there.
The freshman third baseman.
Now batting Isabel Mortensen.
Isabel grounded out to
Squares.
Athena,
The
the
down low for a
last
ball.
at bat.
Ground ball to Roulette. She's going to scoop it, throw it. That ends the inning.
4-pitch inning.
Nice, quick inning there.
And if that's that is exactly what you want to see if you coach Sudak and the Panthers. A tight game like that, they break it open with 4 runs in the bottom of the third and get that big stop.
Yeah, it kind of helps the pitcher with dealing with the pressure and such. So, Al, as I was saying, we were talking about Marco the Magi over at formerly the Magic Show at the Cabot Theater. So, Cesario Pelez was his name. He was a professor of mine at Salem State. He told us the story, so we already, talked about him being a Cuban refugee. He had come to the United States, and he was having trouble, kind of fitting in, getting a job or whatever. So he wrote a letter to a psychology, big name in psychology, Abraham Maslow.
Maslow's hierarchy of needs, Rich.
Exactly, very good. And, he figured I'm just going to write a letter to Maslow, whatever. And he had studied psychology in Cuba. And so Maslow got his letter, wrote back to him, and said, why don't you come study with me? And he actually lived with Maslow for some time, studied with him. And that really kind of set him up. And then he became a professor at Salem State for years. I had him as a professor for a couple of classes. Real interesting. Really good
How did
classes.
he become a magician?
I have no idea. We never got to that part.
Which
would have been a great story that I should have asked at some point.
Then taken over by his grandson? Is that who's holding the solo?
No, they were.
Or that was just someone in the troop?
Just very good friends.
And they set the Guinness Book of World Records that they still own, by the way, Rich.
Most consecutive
live appearances of Magic Show.
Yeah. More so than Siegfried and Roy. Okay, so it's Riley Michael now up as she takes a strike.
Riley is today's designated player, and she's flexing with the catcher, Kat Simonis.
Strike 2.
Nice
So that Magic Show was known as Le Grand David, right? And David was his protege.
David.
Marco the Magi's protege.
And he, I saw a clip in the Sailing News. I think they were interviewing him from Florida.
Strike 3.
And of course, when he decided that he was done and wanted to wrap up the business, that's kind of where the local businessman stepped in to purchase the Cabot Street Theater and turn it into what is now the Cabot Performing Arts Center, basically. The Cabot.
Yep. Ooh, change up. Yeah, they've done a great job over there. I know you and I both like live music shows and have had a chance to do that.
Very often.
And my wife has had some opportunity to work with them over there as they were fixing it up through her work with the Essex County Community Foundation. Helped with some of the funding of that. So that ball's over to third. She's going to try to. That's a foul ball.
And she twisted her ankle on the back. No, okay. She thought she.
Yeah, Casey Soward, the general manager. I don't know his exact position. He's the guy who runs the.
Executive director, I believe.
Is that what it is? Okay. Really nice guy. He's done a fantastic job with that place.
And it is certainly a community treasure, much like the BevCam Sports Network.
Right.
And BevCam.
As a matter of fact, the Cabot is doing a youth filmmaking program that they'll be working with BevCam on that. In Focus, it's called.
They do a presentation every year, and I did go to last year's with the students.
Yep.
So Lydia McDermott up here, who started things out, as Rich said, help yourself pitcher.
Right.
And Lydia started the onslaught of 4 runs with breaking up the no-hitter with a base hit.
And strike 3. That goes in as a backwards K, kids. Reese Quietek now.
Right fielder, nice sacrifice, bunt last time up.
Moved the runner into scoring position, and that was later knocked in with that home run by Balducci.
Everybody doing their job, Rich.
Yep. And that one's gonna be caught.
Little pop that
Not
the
quite a Texas League.
shortstop Haley Schmidt was able to get off her mark and scoop up. So we have 4 full in the books.
This one's moving along swimmingly.
Panthers up 4-0 as the Magicians are going to come up to bat in the 5th.
So that's not something you see very often. Usually you see the home plate umpire brush off home plate, but the base umpire wiped off the rubber on the pitcher's mound.
Well, as we said earlier, he has a fast eye on it.
Yeah, he's
making sure.
He's pretty serious about that pitching rubber.
So coming up from Marblehead here in the 5th will be the heart of their order. The 4, 5, and 6 batters, Ruby Caliente. Calianes, sorry. The second baseman.
It was my muy Calianes remark that got you thinking Caliente, I'm sure.
Sophia Halesley, the left fielder, and the pitcher Tessa Francis.
You have to imagine her nickname's got to be like Caliente or some play off of that, don't you think?
Perhaps.
Like Chili. That's what I would. That would be the nickname I'd give.
You give Chili on that?
Chili, yeah, Chili Calianes. Sounds pretty cool that way. Everyone gets a nickname, Al.
Oh, don't I know it? I live with the queen of nickname giving. It's a strike level.
I tell my students, I said, at some point I'll probably end up giving you a nickname. You can't make up your own nickname. Nickname has to be given to you. Fly ball, catcher can't get over there. That ball's going to drop. Oh, they got a chance throwing over. Okay, so
batter did not run.
That's why they tell you to run through the base there, folks. That looked like it was going to be a hit if she had run. Okay, so that goes down as a 2-3.
2-3, yeah.
Is that the catcher that made the play?
It was indeed the catcher, Kat Simonis.
Cat jumping out of the box
Quick
like
as
a cat.
This brings up Sophia Halesley. Halsley? Halesley?
What we got, it looks like Halesley.
Halesley. Yeah, that's right. That's what it looks like, Halesley.
And again, folks, we usually give this disclaimer at some point during the game. If you're watching and we don't get the name right, do not blame us, as most of the time it's a matter of penmanship or messy handwriting by the coaches.
Or at the least lack of phonetic spelling.
Oh, that ball's going to be down the line. Foul. Yes, or lack of phonetics. It's very helpful if you're given phonetic spelling. So as a matter of fact, Al, I talked to you last week. I said my daughter Natalia graduated from college. And one of the things they do is they have you fill out a card with the phonetic spelling of your name on there. And, ooh.
Called strike.
Yeah.
Inside corner on the changeup, up and in.
And so they have the phonetic spelling so that, you know, you don't have people screaming and yelling that they didn't get the name right as they cross the stage.
Right. Cards are presented. It was kind of interesting with that, where my son Bryce played, just finished his soccer career at Tufts University. On the Tufts roster online, there was a sound bar, and each guy had to record their own name.
Okay.
So if you are like us, covering a game.
Fly ball, that's out of play.
Covering a game, and you're like, oh,
yep.
You know, who's number 7? No, how do you pronounce that? You're able to click on the player's own pronunciation, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah. And I remember the Little League tournament days. They used to have
Yep.
us write the roster down with phonetic spelling, so they could pronounce the kids' names correctly. Probably because they got plenty of complaints from parents.
Yeah,
who
it's a big. I think
get
the
mad
younger
about
you
that.
are, the bigger a deal it is.
Strugger out. Yeah.
Of course, when things would be cooking down at Harry Ball, I could hear everything clear as day in my backyard. I knew when the game started.
Yeah. You got 2 outs now. Tessa Francis up. Francis trying to help her cause, as she is the pitcher. Ball's upstairs. So Al, you know, I had to. My daughter said, "How should I spell the phonetic spelling of that?" So we had to figure that one out. Roulette, get it, and flips it over, and Reese Wickery makes the play.
4-3. Another 1-2-3 inning in the books.
So we move to the bottom of the 5th. Panthers with a 4-0 lead if you're just joining us. Off a big home run from Sophia Balducci, who will be leading off the inning right now. And then a couple of big hits from Gabby Wickery, Jasmine Feliciano. Who else had hits that inning?
Meredith Johnson.
Yep, and
And
it all
you
started
did
with
say
Lydia
Lydia
Medema,
the pitcher.
Yep,
And my partner's request that she help her own cause.
right.
You know, what we've learned over the years is sometimes as an announcer, you just need to ask. And we got it again
Right.
today. Sometimes you just got to ask.
You know, can't hurt to ask. All that could happen is they say no.
That's right. Wow. Sounded like my father saying that.
Well, you know, you get to a certain age, Al, and you start to say things that
sure.
fathers tend to say,
And
such
and-
as
and-
dad jokes.
And hasn't Progressive Insurance capitalized on that theme
Absolutely.
with some creative
Yes,
commercials, which are, I find, hysterical, but maybe our age finds them hysterical.
Right. Well, it really hits home, I think, as you see that. Makes you start to question your own existence. Oh, man, am I really like that? Well.
Yeah, Dad, you are.
And it always leads to the proverbial eye roll from the kids. And I get it even more so as a teacher of teenagers. Of course, with today's teens, most of those jokes go over their heads. So you got the one kid who understands what you're saying. You're like, all right. As long as one kid gets it, that's all.
That's all you can hope for.
Yep.
All right, so
Balducci steps up to the plate.
so far, I guess she'd have to be called the offensive player of the
Yeah.
game.
Yep.
Struck out looking in the first and hit that big 2-run homer in the third.
Yeah, Feliciano's been on base twice so far. France is a little leery of Balducci's bat now.
She reminds me a little of Fenway, the way the shadows are creeping across home plate,
yep.
pitches in the
It's gonna make it a little-
sun.
Yeah. Gonna make it a little tougher for the batter to see.
There's some leaves on the trees now that weren't here a week ago.
Right. Oh, almost hit her. Coming in tight.
Hits on base.
Yeah.
As the kids used to say, we got ice.
And don't rub it. Strike 2.
Great pitch right there.
Yep.
That pitch is almost unhittable.
Yeah, 1 and 2.
At the knees, away like
Had
that.
some movement on that, yeah.
Yogi Berra would have hit that, though.
Vlad Guerrero, too. Ball in the dirt. Vlad Guerrero would have swung at that.
Yeah.
And hit it.
And hit it on the
Nice-
bounce.
Yeah, nice stop there by Bornhorst. Looking over to the dugout for the pitch call. Ball 3. Full count now.
The payoff pitch Let's see. We can't wait for this one.
And Walkser.
The first
pitch.
Is that second walk of the day? Such the second walk. Jasmine had a walk in the
Feliciano
second.
walked once. Now we got Athena McKenna.
Strikeout and a ground out to the pitcher.
Yep.
For the freshman third baseman. He's made a couple of nice plays defensively.
Couple nice plays over there. Ball upstairs.
Athena comes into the game batting exactly .400.
That one's going to be in there. Again, the umpire's positioned perfectly. That was a ball. Case ball, too.
Slide
Umpire
over here a
positioned
little
perfectly
bit
for me to not be able to see it, and every time I move, he moves, too. All right, now I get a little slither of viewing. Foul ball.
Tough pitch there, up and in.
Yeah. 2-1 the count. No outs, runner on first. Panthers with a 4-0 lead here in the bottom of the fifth. Looking to add a couple more in there. Stretch that lead some. Fritz is taking her time out there. Ball's upstairs. Ball 3. You know, Al, when they talked to Francis earlier about standing on the rubber or whatever it was, didn't seem to affect her, but you wonder if it had a effect now. Strike 2, full count now. You know, you wonder if it's in her head.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Rich. She's only given up hits in one inning. She just had a bad inning. Other than that, everything's been 1, 2, 3, except for the walk. So,
full count now. That's going to be a strike. Yep.
That's a great pitch. Just pitch down and
tough,
in right there.
Tough to hit. So that's the first out. Gabby Wickery coming up. Gabby had a base hit her last at bat. Started the second rally of the first inning, of that fourth inning. She would eventually come around to score on the double by Feliciano. Oh, throwing down. Oh, they got her. Nice play by the catcher there. That's
nice
obviously
pick.
A called play. That's a caught stealing.
2-3. That erases that walk.
Yeah.
And Coach Sudak does not 100% agree with that, so
well,
she is coming out.
I
thought she got her hand in.
Well, I'm also wondering if,
blocking the bat?
Talking about the first baseman blocking the base. As you can see the umpire kind of doing something with his feet as if to say, you know, first baseman can move a little bit with the feet, possibly. I don't think Coach Sudak's going to win this one anyway. Just plant it in your head for maybe remember me next time if there's a close play or something.
The psychology of sport.
There you go.
Coaching style.
Yeah, that wasn't something I learned from Cesario Pelez, but
great change of
twisted
pace.
her around.
Looking for the gas and didn't get it.
Theories of personality and theories of motivation, Al. Those were the two classes.
Oh. I love that.
Yeah.
Theories of motivation could apply to coaching.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, coming inside.
But probably
strike 2.
And the theories of personalities could apply to our work in the umps.
Right. Yeah.
Motivate your players and work the umps. They could have renamed the course at Salem State.
Ball in the dirt.
Nice stop, although no one's on any longer.
Yeah, it was about a 40-foot pitch. Two outs. Bottom of the fifth. 4-0 Panther lead. That ball's in the dirt. Bornhorst doing a nice job back there. Full count now. Mercury trying to start this inning up again. Start a 2-out rally possibly. Fouls that one off. Don't know what's happening with the JV game just right now, because all of our focus has been on this game.
Yeah, I only saw one play over there, which was a ground out 1-4.
Yeah, that looks like it's a bit of a pitcher's duel as well. Full count now, 2 outs. Tessa Francis throwing to Gabby Wickery. Wickery gonna line that one to the shortstop to end the inning.
The junior captain couldn't quite get it over Schmidt.
All right, so we move on to the 6th inning. 7, 8, 9 hitters now for the Magicians. Looking to get a little magic going on themselves here. How did we even, was it the Marblehead Magicians? Is that how we got onto the discussion?
That is.
Is that
well,
what it was?
yeah, you were commenting on the
right.
uniqueness of the
Yeah,
name.
yes.
I went to the Orlando Magic, and then I went to Margie the Magician.
That's right.
Once
there you
again, showing why we shouldn't have a podcast at the BevCam studios.
Yeah, it would just be, we could just call it the rabbit hole as we move from one topic to another, spiraling.
The two most amused listeners would be ourselves.
Trust me, Al, there's probably someone out there who would find it amusing. We do know that it's not the two women in our lives. There wouldn't be. Tessa Andriano up. She struck out her first at-bat back in the 3rd inning.
Tessa's today's 3rd baseman.
Little conference out at the mound there. A lot of talking going on. All right, so Lydia Medema still out there. Try to take advantage of those shadows there, hovering around the infield. That's going to be in there for strike 1.
Kat Simonis had a slide to her left for that. She was calling the ball outside, went inside.
Yeah.
A lot of times the umpire won't give you that call, but he had a good clean look at it.
Oh, hitter. And that's the first base run of the game for the Magicians. You know, when that kind of stuff goes on, you try not to talk about it, Al.
Okay, well, let's see if we can erase that runner.
Yeah, right.
Lila McGovern up. She flew out to Reese Quietek last at bat in right field.
That's a strike. So Lydia had been perfect up until that point with the hit batsman. See a lot of that in softball. She squares the bunt, gets the bunt down. Oh, let it go. Foul ball. Decide to let that one go. McKenna using her head out there.
Wow, I thought she was coming up gunning.
I did too. I thought she was going to gun the ball to first.
I thought the ball was hit hard enough that she was going to make that play.
Yeah, she read that one pretty well. You know, we can't hear the chatter over there. I wonder if the catcher had let her know to let it go as well.
Now she's up 0-2 in the count.
Yeah.
Lydia is.
Struck her out. It's a good way to come
Change
back
the
from
pace
that
there.
hit batter. Ashley Mortensen now. Mortensen grounded to second base, her first at-bat. Strike 1.
You have the zone down now. You don't even need to wait for the call. I'm impressed.
Yeah. It's the umpire. It seems I've learned his calls. Setting up outside, trying to go for that low outside strike maybe. Squares, gets the bunt down, foul, doesn't get it down, so it's foul ball. Again, so second batter in a row with one strike, then they square.
Yeah.
Foul ball. Now you put yourself in the hole, 0-2.
0-2.
You know, it's interesting, Al. I mean, because they're showing bunt, so the team's coming in, so it's not like they're bunting for a hit necessarily.
Yeah, exactly. They're squaring early.
And down 4-0, you need more than just one run.
We have a visitor in the BevCam booth.
There you go. You're number one fan there, Al.
Or maybe you're number one fan. You respond to text messages during the broadcast.
Oh, fly ball, left field. Yeah, it's going to be out of play.
I did.
All right, so we get 1-2. Top of the 6th inning. Panthers up 4-0. Lydia Medina on the mound. Medina was also the first run of the game. Got a change up there. It was her at bat. It was her runner. She wasn't the runner as they used the courtesy runner, but it was her runner that was on base on that Balducci home run.
Yeah, Lila Pasquarello came in.
Yep. One, 2 on the count. That ball's upstairs. 2-2. Got one out. Runner on first base. And as we're pointing out, the shadows struck her out. Ball down low. So Medina one over the allotted batters so far.
That was her 5th strikeout of the afternoon.
Back to the top of the order, Luca Bornhorst, the catcher. He's had a nice job behind the plate today.
Grounded out to start the game back to
Roulette with
pitcher.
the play, flips it over, and that'll end the inning. No harm on that hit batter, except maybe the batter's arm.
So going into the bottom of the 6th, the Panthers trying to extend their 4-0 lead. And they'll have the heart of the order up with Jasmine Feliciano, Meredith Johnson, and Elsa Roulette. Oh, there goes a run, at least on the JV field.
At least one run, and no, they're sending her.
Shortstop held the ball, she slides and makes it.
There, yeah. Well, it was a home run, looks like, in the JV game.
Good job, Josh, cameraman, watching for us. Maybe that's why she was sent. Ball came into the middle of diamond, little hesitation. Kind of like Enos Slaughter coming around with Pesky held the ball.
That little hesitation, yeah.
Speaking of being old and making dated references.
But you weren't around when that play actually happened.
That is very true.
So you mentioned our cameraman Josh, and we also got our crew chief, Tim Hezzy, the crew chief today.
Tim back in the booth.
Yeah, Tim's back in the booth, and Chris Harvey, the head guy of everything, the lead producer on all BevCam Sports Network activities, here setting us up. He was here on time.
He was indeed.
So he pointed out that BevCam were always on time. You know, we were talking about how sometimes games will start early. Right? BevCam will be ready. It may not look like it, but we'll be ready when that official time is supposed to start. So.
That's true.
So if
you were saying that happens often with volleyball.
Yeah, volleyball, and we mentioned Coach Crew previously. Yeah, so with that, you know, the JV game happens first. The JV and the freshmen happen at the same time. They put a curtain down, and then the umpires from those two games will come together and be the umpires for the varsity game. And if the both varsities are there and on time, then they will start the game early, and sometimes the games will start a half an hour early, depending on how those earlier sub-varsity games go. It can be kind of frustrating, you know, hey, I just come in and I call a game, but the parents who are trying to rush there from work or watch the game on TV when the game starts early can get a little frustrating. All right, so we get Jasmine Feliciano. She scored a run and drove in a run with the double during that big third inning, that rally they had. Foul ball. Feliciano got a quick bat, huh?
Yeah, it does indeed. As we talked about last game, how she had gone to middle school here,
Yep.
was down in Florida for a bit, honed her craft down here, and certainly a welcome addition back into the Panther lineup.
Yeah, I don't think she went to Florida to hone the craft. I think she just
was in
happened to.
Florida.
She was
And
in Florida
honed her
and she honed the craft. Yeah, be kind of weird
It would
taking a
probably be
a seventh grader saying, "Okay, we're going to send you down to Florida to get better at a sport."
Well, you never
it,
know.
it does happen.
You know, her dad Rocky is a baseball guy through and through. You know, I don't know. I wouldn't put it by.
Ball upstairs. 1-2's the count. Well, we do know it does happen. Just don't know if that's the case here. Struck her out. High cheddar. Meredith Johnston coming up. Meredith had a base hit. Drove in a run. Drove in Feliciano.
Francis has hit double digits for strikeouts, Rich. That was her 10th of the afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, she's been all strikeouts except for that one inning. That third inning, she had a lot of strikeouts. Except for that, she only had the one strikeout in that third inning.
Yeah, and other than that, it's just been a walk in the second and a walk in the fifth in the way of base runners.
It's going to be in there for a change-up strike. 1-1 now, the count.
And,
1 out.
And so far, a flawless game in the field by both teams.
Yeah, yep.
This is a great quality Northeast Conference matchup.
Ball upstairs, ball 2. 2-1. And I know it was yesterday, but happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Ooh.
Oh,
it is. There you go.
Very late delayed.
I was going to say, that was a rare low ball.
Al, let me say to all the mothers and all the maternal figures out there.
Happy belated.
Yes. Ground ball. Francis fields it. Throws over to first. 1-3 put up. That's for the second out. Elsa Roulette coming up now.
Elsa 0 for 2, looking for her first hit of the afternoon.
Yep. Elsa has played a nice second base, had quite a few plays over there today. Strike one. Little change up, took something off of it.
Yeah, that ball dipped down.
Again, it looks like the rest of this game is going to be played with a funky shadow situation there. Ground ball, foul. Coach Sudak, a little kick right there, stop it. Wasn't too harmful. Although, Al, that shadow seems to be getting closer to the pitcher, so it might not be an issue.
Kind of depends on how much longer this game's going to last, I guess.
Struck her out.
An 11th K on the afternoon. For Tessa Francis.
All right, so
if had her druthers, would like a do-over for the third inning, because she has been masterful.
Yeah, take a mulligan on the third. Speaking of masterful, Lydia Medina has been quite that today. As of right now, she's the she'd like to keep herself as the winning run. If they can get an out here, get 3 outs here without any runs scored, she'll be able to say that.
And she is facing the second, third, and fourth batters.
Tough part of the order here.
Haley Schmidt, Isabel Mortensen, and Ruby Callie-Ennis.
So Medina has been a little bit different than Francis. Francis has been overpowering with that fastball. Medina have been just keeping around the strike zone, keep them off balance. A lot of ground ball outs.
10 ground ball outs.
Yeah.
10 of the 18.
To go with 5 strikeouts, 2 of which came last inning. It really doesn't matter how you do it as long as you get it done.
Yes, sir. As long as you score one more run than the other team,
Yep,
that's
that's
all
it.
that matters.
And the other thing is, you talked about the defense in this game so far. It's easier for a pitcher knowing that you got a defense behind you.
Yeah, Beverly's shown their quality all year. They wouldn't be sitting here at 11-2 looking for their 12th win in 14 games without it. And as we said, a young group here, not a senior on the field right now.
Maybe they're too young to know better.
Just keep playing.
Just
keep
keep
play.
playing.
Just show up and play.
Yep.
Schmidt has grounded out twice.
Foul ball.
Or actually, she did not ground out. She hit a little liner to second baseman,
Right.
Elsa
Yep,
Roulette,
yep,
the
yep.
first at bat, and then grounded out to Athena McKenna.
My
her
handwriting
second.
was not good on that first at bat either.
I was wondering how she went out 1-4 with nobody on. That was
I
an L.
did this. I looked at the same thing last inning. I'm like, how's that? 1-4. Well, it's possible if someone squares on a bunt and the second baseman wheels over to first. Strike two. Two strikes on the batter. Lydia Medema doing a job on the mound right now. Medema with the pitch. Can't get the call on that outside strike. Just a little too far outside. Medema being taller, I wonder if the shadow there that we mentioned makes as much of a difference. Because as she finishes her release, how close she is to that shadow. As we've talked about before, the length a pitcher has. And she struck her out.
Ball in the dirt. Got a fishing.
The length of the pitcher there kind of shortens how long you have to react.
6th strikeout of the afternoon.
Now we're going to have Isabella Mortensen. Mortensen's grounded out twice. Once to the short, once to second base.
She's hit it on both sides of the diamond.
Ground ball to Roulette. Makes the play. Over. Out number 2. Another ground ball out. Ruby Kalyanis. Kalyanis is grounded out twice. Oh, wait.
Yeah,
one was a bunt, right?
One of them was actually that pop-up that went fair.
Oh,
that,
right, that's right.
wasn't
Yeah,
run
yeah,
out,
yeah.
and that catcher made the play on that. So
But technically, it goes down as a ground out, does it?
2-3.
Because you pick it up off the ground.
It does indeed.
Yeah.
And it goes out for another put-out for the first baseman, Gabby Wickery.
Yeah. Nobody ever really seems to care much about the putouts by a first baseman, though.
That's underrated, Rich.
Yeah. And that ball is going to be lined out to shortstop, and we're going to end this game. We didn't want to say it, Al, but that was a no-hitter.
We have coached too many games to be the Jinxes, to be the Jonas. But Lydia Medina facing just one batter over the limit and a hits batsman in the 6th away from a perfect game. Throws a no-hitter here at Beverly High School, and the Panthers with a big, big conference win against the Magicians, 4-0, and that is exciting stuff. She's credited with scoring the winning run, throwing a no-hitter. What a great game for the freshman.
We had talked about the offensive star, Balducci, with that home run, but I think you got to give player of the game to the kid who throws a no-hitter
absolutely.
and gets the winning run, is the winning runner. So that's a nice little performance. Other workman-like efficiency out there. Great pitching by both pitchers, really. As you said, that one inning for Francis there really kind of spelled the doom. But the star today, Lydia Medema, the freshman.
Yeah, less than an hour and a half to do the job. I mean, gosh, just when you think about that inside pitch that nicked a batter, I mean, that close to a perfect game.
Yeah, pretty much one pitch away, right?
That's just sensational. Yeah. And as we talked about, a really well-pitched game by both sides. Yeah. As you said, if Tessa Francis could have a mulligan for the 3rd inning, Beverly did all its damage there. 4 runs on 5 hits in the 3rd, and not an error committed by either team. great pitching, and the Panthers with the timely hitting, and they show why they are one of the top teams, not only in the Northeast Conference, but one of the top teams in Division One right now.
Yeah, you know, we talked about this was going to be a good game. We expected it to be competitive. We thought it was going to be a little bit lower scoring total. But, you know, we got a pitcher's duel. We got good defense. Pretty much everything you want to see in a high school softball game, we saw it today. And this was a gem.
That was great. And with our second game of the season, we're hoping that we'll be back with you for maybe some playoff action.
Yeah.
We'll see how things play out on the schedules. But, yeah, really excited that we've been able to bring you a couple of regular season games this year.
Yeah. All right, so there you have it, folks. 4-0 Panthers. No hitter, home run, all kinds of good stuff. So I'm Rich Francis along with Al Visnick. We'll see you later.
Have a good night.
Yes. I'm Lydia's dad. Okay. Yeah. My dad said, "You're pronouncing our name wrong." No, it's fine. It's Miedema.
Miedema. Okay.
All right, we're going with the phonetics.
Well, we do make the disclaimer.
I know.